Medical trauma isn't just something our kids go through. Let's talk about us. We put so much effort and care into keeping our kids from going through too much medical trauma, too many pokes, too many tubes, too many procedures, many IV starts. I don't think we think as much about ourselves and our own medical trauma. And I know I have medical trauma. I don't know about you. I know my husband has medical trauma. I know my other kids have medical trauma. I worry about all of them, all of us. For myself, I know there are triggers that can get me, worries that I know are bigger than they maybe need to be at this point in our journey. They've triggered things from that we've gone through in the past. I did have a doctor tell me one time, and it didn't feel very sensitive at the time, but he told me my daughter was in and out of the hospital. There was one year where she was just in and out of the hospital constantly, and she would get sick. She would come home and she would get sick and not tolerate anything, and be like her version of retching and throwing up and other things that would take us to the hospital. And then she would get admitted, and over a course of 7 or 8 days she would get better and better, and then we would go home, but they never found anything. So of course, who are they looking at, right? It turns out that it was something, and that's a story for another day. But I did have a doctor sit down with me and say he had to have the same talk with his wife because they have a child that's involved, and he had to tell her that just because the child had been sick in the past, and this is a medically complex child, not just a healthy walking around child, that just because the child had been sick in the past didn't mean they were going to be sick in the future. Fair point, not super sensitive, and not exactly what I needed to hear at the moment, especially when there was something wrong with my daughter and they weren't figuring it out. We did eventually figure it out, like I said. There's some medical trauma in the parenting journey as well, for sure, for sure. I think it's a deeper conversation to try to wrap that all up, but I think that's why we need each other. We need each other, and we need people who get it, for sure.